Live in session here on Six Music, the Office for Personal Development and Risk to Benefit. Trevor, as Director of the Office for Personal Development, would you mind introducing the rest of the team, the rest of your colleagues, please?
Okay, here to my immediate left, I have Mr. Del Querns. He's our Head of IT.
Hello. Hi, Del, how are you?
And over here, I have Ms. Jenna Love, our Goals Liaison Officer.
Hello.
And we can confirm, Mark, can't we, that they're all suited and they're wearing branded ties as well?
They are, but one thing of interest, which I was wondering about, is that...
Just the one thing, yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But there are the trainers. Now, suits and trainers. I do remember Anthony H. Wilson, Tony Wilson. He was the first person I saw wearing a suit and trainers. Now, is that part and parcel of the whole ethos, or is it just you couldn't be asked getting some brogues?
Well, we're firm believers in physical activity and a healthy body and a healthy mind, and it's just easier to work out in a suit and trainers.
Yeah, well, we did hear in the first number as well, basically your manifesto, and the key seems to be, I think the message got through to me that doing is thinking is the main thing to remember. I didn't remember all the 4 points before that, but I can go back to them.
You can listen again on BBC Sound.
God, thanks very much.
Very good, wasn't it?
Is there any point where I'm not doing and therefore not thinking though? Do you think that's is that a possibility?
Well, when you reach the end of the path of fulfilment, you'll find out.
Oh, that's a very good point. With that in mind, those who... I think a good way to spend your time is watching the video to Risk to Benefit, which is an excellent 4 minutes as far as I can tell, and a good source of personal development as well, because it follows a job seeker on his adventures, very literally at times. You've seen this, Mark? It's very good, this.
I haven't.
At times, it matches the pictures match the lyric, and I like that in a promotional video from time. Not when he's at the urinal, though, at one point. I do want... And this is an artistic thing I'd like to ask about, because there is a particular edit in the video which takes us from a sort of shaking element in the urinal, and it matches up to a running moment as well, and it's like Jean-Luc Godard. It's that sort of thing.
That's what we're going for.
Whose idea was that? It's a lovely bit of editing.
Well, our PR department makes all of the promotional films.
I can see where this is going, mate.
The urinal shot was it's quite hard to achieve. You can get very small GoPros nowadays.
Thank you. Okay, this from I love the OPD. My name's Paul McClure. I'm a songwriter from Rutland, and I've been humming Risk to Benefit around the house for the last couple of days. And my 15-year-old daughter, assuming it was one of mine, said it was the best thing I've ever written, and she really loved that tune. I wondered if you wouldn't mind if I don't tell her for another day or two and just bask in the glory of my teenager's admiration, please. I promise to put her onto all your other songs as soon as I've fessed up. Well, over to you, really, with that one. What do you think?
I think that's fine.
Absolutely.
I think you should just never tell her, actually.
Yeah,
that's fine.
No, I think honesty is the best policy on that one.
Oh, there's disagreement
on that
there.
one.
Yeah.
That's a worry as well, isn't it? Hey, no, you're not doing yourselves any favours here. Are you guys aware of the band Snapped Ankles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I was just suggesting that maybe it might be going back in time to actually make this work. But the last session that they did for us, they came in suited and booted, and that was because they were coming in from the angle of quantity surveyors. The idea being, hang on, hear me out. The idea being that the tour that they were going to do, the ensuing tour, they would go and measure up all of the clubs and see how many flats and apartments they could make if they were to knock that particular club down. So,
a bit close to the bone, that.
I know. So
are they still playing, or did they go into that business?
I've not seen them since.
It's a lucrative game, that.
Now, you're responsible for possibly the first song to be written about Bexhill, which we're going to hear shortly. Is it the first song to be written about Bexhill?
No, it's not. There's another songwriter in Bexhill who has a song, I believe, called Bexhill. And she did get in contact and say we'd stolen her title.
Cease and desist.
Yeah.
But yours has got an exclamation mark. Does that set them apart, or has hers got an exclamation mark as well?
I'm not sure. Hers might have a question mark.
Have they got the same lyrics and melody, though? That's the question.
Oh, that's a key point. Yeah, it's a very good point, that. Well made.
I was going to ask you if there are... who are the most famous musical exports from Bexhill? It's probably yourselves, is it? Or this artist you're talking about?
Yeah, there's a few that get claimed, don't they?
Who?
Keane get claimed as Bexhill,
Keane,
don't they?
just down the road there from Battle.
Right.
And
there's a cafe on the seafront called the Sovereign Light Cafe, which they did an album name for that as well, and that's in Bexhill, so they get sort of...
All right,
just one thing I want to mention before Gid takes over again is the Dillawar Pavilion.
Yes.
which, and you work there, don't you?
Yeah, we've got a record shop called Music's Not Dead in there.
Brilliant.
And it's,
But, it just came, I don't know when it started appearing on tour lists. It wasn't that long ago. But Bexhill doesn't look like the typical kind of venue that would be on the tour circuit, but it is, so you're doing an amazing job there.
Yeah, it's kind of like the last 4 or 5 years. There was a guy called Ed who come down from the Roundhouse who started booking bands there.
Right.
And it's kind of like kicked up another gear and it's just carried on from there.
Brilliant.
It's it's an absolute joy to be able to walk to a gig and then walk home afterwards.
Yeah, no, fabulous.
It is the most beautiful venue. People, it's a Grade 1 listed modernist masterpiece, and it was built as a cathedral to socialism by Lord Delaware.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good on you.
Okay, we are ready for 2 more tunes if you are.
Okay.
What's the first one going to be?
This one's called Bexhill.